Call this meeting of the Smith County Emergency Services District Number 2 to order at 7 p.m. I do certify that there is a quorum present, and all due notices have been posted. And for prayer and pledge of allegiance to the United States and the Texas flag. Most gracious Heavenly Father, we come to you tonight thanking you for the many blessings you've given each and every one of us. And dear Lord, we just thank you for watching over us and keeping us safe. Dear Lord, at this time, a special blessing upon the people of the Ukraine, of the trials and the battles they're going through. Just watch out and protect them, dear Lord. And as always, we just ask that you give us the wisdom that we need to make the wise and prudent decisions in this district and protect us and give us the knowledge and the things we need to do to protect our citizens. These things in your holy and precious name we ask. Amen. Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Honor the Texas. I pledge allegiance to Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible. All right. Number 3. Item number 3 is recognition of guests and special presentations. I know we have the president of the board from Noonday here, and then Jim Spire with Christus EMS, and James Stefka with GMR. Anybody else I'm missing?
You can throw Paul in there.
Paul, oh yeah, ex-commissioner Paul Perryman. He's in our audience tonight. So anyway, thank you guys. All right, item number 4, public comments. But before we do that, I need to clarify something. Last meeting, I let somebody cede their time to someone else to finish. I found out that was wrong, so I made a mistake. So from this time on, it will just be one person. You'll be allowed 3 minutes to speak. And that's according to our board attorney. So just to clarify that, I was wrong. And when I'm wrong, I'll say I'm wrong. So anyway, so at this time we have some people signed up for public comment. And Paul Perryman, I'll let you go first. All right.
Well, board, it's good to see all of y'all doing. And this is my first time to come back since having spent quite a while over there. But I just want to pitch you an idea, and I have this to Johnny, but it's going to take some hard work and some time on y'all's side. So my thought was to see if we could put together a yearly appreciation banquet, similar to what some of the individual departments do around Christmas time, where they honor some of their volunteers, some of their paid staff. And this specific idea here is to just show appreciation. We have a large staff now. We have a large group of volunteers, and so it'll be one side or the other, but show appreciation across the board, and rent a venue if we couldn't find something within our own facilities, and have a nice meal and some awards, perhaps even a video that shows some of the things that were pertinent to us that happened over the course of the year. And what I'm modeling this after in my mind is something that Noonday has, where Mel and Christine Harper and some of the staff out there have something around Christmas time, okay? Around Christmas time, I realize everybody is max loaded on projects right now. This was kicked around during my time on the board, but we just never had time or staff to do it. But I pitched to you over the next year to see if we could put something like this together. And I don't know that I'd be allowed to, but I'd be happy, if asked to even call some of our top vendors and request donations from them. And also that so that we didn't have to dip into any taxpayer funds. We do have fire recovery money, and that's not taxpayer money. So if we didn't raise enough from our vendors, we could use funds there to pay for this. I think this would just help show proper appreciation Every big city does this, and I don't think it would cost a tremendous amount. I think most of it would be funded by the people that we do business with. And I pitched that to y'all I realize that's not on the agenda today, but downstream, see what could be done to put that together. That's my thought.
Board President, I'd like to thank you for your time. Board members, thank you for your time as well. Chief Clan, I'd like to call you to the podium as us on operations would like to present you with a letter of acknowledgement for all the hard work you've done for the county. Like I said, I got 2 minutes, 45 seconds, so I'm going to try and read this pretty quickly to you. We here on the front lines of Smith County ESD2 operations are beyond proud and honored to serve alongside you. Your measures, mentality, and unending passion to see that nothing but the best is established for this organization does not go unnoticed. Your willingness to install an aggressive yet positive culture here for generations to come has been and continues to be proven extremely challenging but accomplishable. The man hours you have put in to bring modern, efficient, and tactfully sound training to us all have been a breath of fresh air as us on operations have confidence to methodically attack any emergency with favorable outcome within our realm of control. All in all, words can't express enough our sincere gratitude and appreciation we have for your investment in us. Proudly we stand by your side and salute you. As a small token of our appreciation, we present you with this challenge coin where the spoken words couldn't ring any louder in your favor. Students of the craft, nothing has a bigger impact on a positive cultural change than the influence of a respected leader who leads by example. And we had these signed by all of the operations. There you go, Chief. Thank you for what you do. Thank you for your time.
Chief, we kind of went out of order, but I want to tell to the majority of the people that work for ESD2 here, we sure appreciate it for you stepping up and showing a lot of people that's never had this job before like that what a thank you.
Both committed to make the motion that we'd accept both the special January 2022 and the Board of Commissioners meeting January 24th, 2020.
Are you gonna handle that, or is Brent gonna handle it?
No, I don't care either way.
Okay, so in your board book, the financial statements are in there as like they normally are, and then also Bill provided me a tax summary that I laid down in front of you. Have any questions for that?
No, so I've gone through as well and reviewed those. We'll follow up though with Chief Smith and state that we have requested basically a workshop to look at our financial statement forecast looking at what we spend to date through the year to forecast throughout the rest of the year, just make sure we're still on budget everywhere, but outside of that, there was nothing in notation in either one of the reports. I make the motion that we approve both the January 2020 statement as well as the tax distribution report.
Okay, have a motion by Commissioner Dominy. We approve the January financial statement and the January 2022 tax distribution report.
Second.
Second by Commissioner McKeithen. Any other discussion? If not, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed, say nay. Motion carries. Number 6, discuss, consider, and take any necessary action related to payment of accounts, bills, invoices, payroll requests for reimbursement, requests for other payments, transfer of funds, and amendment. You can see all the bills there. I've looked over them. I didn't really see anything out of the ordinary.
Now, I'll comment the same, that I reviewed each one of those. Nothing in there that is outside of the norm, what we should be doing. So I'll make the motion that we approve all the payments of bills under 6.1 and 6.2.
Okay. I have a motion by Commissioner Dominy that we approve the consent agenda of items under 6.1 and 6.2. Have a second by Commissioner Wilson. Any other discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. All right. Item 7, discuss, consider, and take any necessary action on budgeted ladder testing, budgeted amount of $3,230, requested amount $3,242.15.
Did he include 6.3 in there?
Is there
No,
6.3?
he had 6.1, 6.2. Let's get 6.3.
Oh, did we skip 6.3? I'm sorry. All right, contract payments.
My error, I should have said 6.3. So I'll go ahead and make the motion that we approve payments under contract payment made under 6.3 as well.
Second.
Okay, have a motion and a second to pay the bills under 6.3 also. Have a second by Commissioner Biggers. So, and a motion by Commissioner Dominy. So, any other discussion? If not, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Okay. Motion carries. Now we'll move on to 7. I'm sorry. Consider and take any necessary action on budgeted ladder testing of $3,230 and requested amount of $1,242.15. Who's going to speak on that?
I will. Okay. This is our required ladder testing. We did go out for 3 quotes. CFS is the low bid. They are at $3,242.15. This is $12.15 over what was budgeted. That has come up because of unexpected price increases that we just didn't foresee.
Make the motion to approve the ladder testing at $3,240.15.
Second.
I have a motion by Commissioner Dominy to approve the amount of $3,242.15 for the ladder testing. Have a second by Commissioner McKeithen. Any other discussion? If not, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Okay. Item 8, discuss, consider, and take any necessary action. SCBA bottle hydrostatic testing, budgeted amount $7,000, amount of $5,220. Chief.
Again, this is another testing that we need to do. We're going to go ahead and test half of our SCBA as discussed during the budget, and we'll do the other half next year. That way we get them staggered. Fire Supply Inc. is the low bid on that for $5,220. By doing that option, we can do it in 2 locations in the county, so we can split it up and do one in the north and one in the south part of the county to help us with transporting and getting everything where it needs to be.
Is that the ones y'all recommend?
Yes.
Okay.
Make a motion.
Have a motion by Commissioner Biggers. We approve the amount of $5,220 for the SCBA bottle testing. Have a second by Commissioner Wilson. Any other discussion? If not, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed, say nay. Motion carries. Item 9, discuss, consider, and take any necessary action on the authorization of the budget amount to purchase gear for Chapel Hill, White House, Dixie, Red Springs, Texas Forest Service Grant Match, and ARP, Texas Forest Service Grant Match, rescue gloves, wildland shirts, wildland helmets, budgeted amount $163,036.06, requested amount not to exceed $163,036.06. Chief Smith.
Okay, so I provided you guys with a breakdown of the final gear budget. Everything that is listed on that part of the agenda is in there with the exception of ARP. ARP received a TFS grant that we didn't know they were going to get it. So they ended up getting a TFS grant. Red Springs has a TFS grant. Those grants have a match to them. So if even go ahead and do ARP's grant within this authorization, we should not go over the budgeted amount. So when you add up the Chapel Hill, the White House, the Dixie, the Red Springs, and all those other things, you get that $163,036. But with the two grants, they will offset each other and allow us to go ahead and do ARP under that same budget amount.
Make a motion, we do it. 33606.
Have Commissioner McKeithen to purchase the wildland gear and for $163,036.06. I have a second. Second by Commissioner Wilson. Any other discussion? All right. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed, say nay. Motion carries. Item 10, discuss and consider and take any necessary action on budgeted training division items. 10.1, shipping container project, budgeted amount of $12,500, requested amount $12,500. Chief Clanton, or Chief Smith, whoever's going to speak on it.
So this is a budgeted item. We're requesting to purchase 2 containers. Low bids, $51.25 delivered a piece. Brings us a little over $10,000 on that, $10,250. The balance of that amount requested would be for us to complete the project and finish that out as a burn facility, search facility, training area that we would place out at Red Springs and do the work ourselves. So we should be able to get that easily completed at that 12.5 mark. And again, it is within budget.
Okay. You did say that was delivered on containers?
That's correct.
Okay.
Motion approved.
Okay. Have a motion by Commissioner Biggers. We approve the amount of $12,500 for the shipping container project, and a second by Commissioner Wilson. Any other discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed, say nay. Motion carries. 10.2, thermal mannequin, budgeted amount $5,381.75, requested amount $5,331.75.
Yeah, that was also within the budget for us to purchase a thermal dummy. This is a dummy that has a heat signature that allows us to train with the thermal imaging devices that the engines carry, a little more realistic as far as training in a zero-vis environment. The one thing here is that we would have a shipping fee that would put us a little over there. It's $300 shipping on that, but the base price is $53.31.75. With the $300 shipping fee, it would be $56.31.75.
So Corey, my assumption is that whenever you went out and looked at this earlier, you really didn't know where you were buying it from. So you didn't know the shipping cost. That wasn't what was included
Well,
in the budget estimate.
Yeah, in some of these situations, we're able to get free shipping, and sometimes we're not. And that's one thing in the environment that we're in that's beginning to evolve a little bit. More things are going to take freight charges than what they used to, and it's
I'm curious, and we're not gonna split hairs, but wasn't a more expensive option with free shipping that would put us under the max?
Not to my knowledge.
Okay, I'm just curious. With that, I'll make a motion to approve a mannequin purchase for $5,631.75.
Okay, have a motion by Commissioner McKeith and a second by Commissioner Dominy to purchase the thermal mannequin for $5,631.75. Any other discussion? If not, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed, say nay. Motion carries. Item 10.3, TILS paramedic refresher. Budgeted amount $15,000, requested amount $8,400. Chief Clinton, you want to speak on that?
Yeah, this also was in our budget line items there for training. And this is to do the continuing education recertification of our paramedics that we currently have, both on the volunteer side and in the career aspect. I think what we're looking at here was somewhere around $700 a person, 12 students to be conducted in April. It's a 5-day class, and in it they receive all of their certification cards: advanced cardiac life support, pediatric advanced life support, international trauma life support, advanced medical life support, and their basic CPR and those kinds of things. And there is also a neonatal aspect to it. So they get the full spectrum. It fully fulfills their national registry hours. And it's in a kind of a conference type setting and very effective. I just completed it in September, and I've been doing it for a number of years and feel strongly about it. So anyway.
These 12 students, they work for us, right? They're not full-time somewhere else?
That's correct.
Okay, just make sure.
And they will come here and do it? There's
Yeah,
no
it'll
travel?
be on site. It'll be here.
Okay.
And the other thing about this is the way that we're rolling this is they'll be on a 2-year rotation. You do this every other year. So in actuality, we'd be looking at dealing with 24 folks over a 2-year period. And that way we just do it every year.
Gotcha.
Okay.
So
So do you have 12 that are currently signed up or eligible, or you?
we have in excess of that. Actually, we have 26 paramedics, I think, is what I looked at. Now, that's not just paid staff. That's volunteers also. But I don't think we'll have an issue at all filling the class.
Okay, but, and the instructors want to limit the class size to about 12? Is that the reason we're set there?
That's correct. That's
Okay.
correct. The way the rotations work, that's really the best setting. Now, if there were a situation where we can't fill it with our own folks, we can sell that $700 spot quite easily if we had to. I don't see that being a problem, but I just want you to know that in that event, we would be able to do that.
But as it is right now, everybody's going to be able to go through class, get certification on the rolling 2-year period without a problem?
correct.
Not limited there?
Correct.
Okay, good, thanks.
Right.
With that, I'll make the motion to approve the $8,400 for TILS training.
Okay. We have a motion by Commissioner Dominy to approve the $8,400 for the TILS training. Have a second by Commissioner Wilson. Any other discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed, say nay. Motion carries. All right. Item 11, discuss, consider, and take any necessary action on the purchase of PPE extractor for noonday, budgeted amount $5,000, requested amount $2,800. Chief Smith, you gonna speak on that?
Okay, so Noonday has received a VFIS Health and Safety grant of $5,000 for an extractor. The extractor that they're requesting to purchase is $7,800. That includes their freight. So they're asking the ESD to provide funding, the funding difference of $2,800. We budgeted for one extractor this year. This will be well under budget for that as.
So this isn't a we front the money and they refund us, we need to just come up with the 2,800?
That is correct.
Okay. I'll make a motion that we approve $2,800 expenditure for an extractor for noonday.
Okay. Have a motion by Commissioner McKeithen to approve the amount of $2,800 for the extractor for noonday. Have a second?
I'll second it.
Second by Commissioner Dominy. Any other discussion? If not, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed, say nay. Motion carries. Item 12, discuss, consider, and take any necessary action on a Class A phone purchase for Smith County ESD2, budgeted amount $22,200, requested amount $15,297.04. Chief Smith?
Okay, so we are currently needing to go ahead and buy our bulk foam that we buy throughout the year. At this point, we're asking to buy 12 55-gallon barrels of Foscheck Class A foam. NAFCO is the low bid on that for $15,297.04. That includes the freight. Now, their freight quote was only good for 5 days. Today is day 6. So we may need to do a little bit more not to exceed so we can get the freight here, so we can get it here.
So as far as a percentage that you typically see you're using in the year, is this for the full year, is this partial year? How much of this are we requesting?
I believe it should get us through the rest of the budget year.
Okay. In that case, I'll make the motion that we approve purchase the foam not to exceed $16,000.
Second.
Have a motion by Commissioner Domney to purchase the foam not to exceed $16,000. That would be to take care of any of overruns on the shipping, and a second by Commissioner McKeithen. Any of the other discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed, say nay. Motion carries. Item 13, discuss, consider, and take necessary action on repair on Reserve Brush 1. Estimate $639 from Longview Diesel and Performance. Mike?
For the past few months, we've been having some slight issues and hiccups with that reserve brush truck we have. We hadn't been able to really pinpoint what has been wrong or what has been making it go into a limp mode. And so I had it sent over to this shop that has done some work for us, and they have pinpointed that our oil cooler is clogged up, which is causing the engine to overheat a little bit and to cause it to go into limp mode. That request is because they have to remove the cab in order to change this cooler out, so it's a labor-intensive deal to replace this cooler.
Attached in your board book, you'll see a quote for $2,639.10. After speaking with Mike, we would like that request to be not to exceed $3,500, just in case they find something as they take the cab off.
Is there a possibility that you're going to have to go into the turbo? The turbo's oil driven, isn't it?
No.
Oh, it's not? Okay.
Well, the turbo is oil-driven, but it's not, it's,
Different oil.
yeah, it's.
That's not part of the problem?
Straight to the turbo, no.
Okay, it's not part of the problem?
No.
All right. Okay. I'll make the motion that we approve the repair services not to exceed $3,500.
Second.
Have a motion by Commissioner Domney to approve the repair on Reserve Brush 1 not to exceed $3,500, and a second by Commissioner Biggers. Any other discussion? If not, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed, say nay. Motion carries. Item 14, discuss, consider, and take any necessary action on budgeted IT purchases. Larry, you're going to have to talk about this because some of it's chopped off here.
Yeah, so 14.1 is to purchase 43 tablets to replace 50% of our tablet inventory. This is something we started last year. We're going to replace 50% every 2 years, so this is year 2 of that. Once we collect all the tablets that are deployed, we'll go ahead and auction off the lot from both 2 years, either through auction or through a company that specializes in buying those. All of these will be individual purchases. They'll all be under $2,000. It's just total overall on the project. You're looking at $19,906.71. The budgeted amount of $22,464.
These, remind me, what do you expect percentage-wise to get back?
Last time we checked, from the vendor that specializes in purchasing used tablets, we were looking at $15 to $20 a tablet, so not very much. But that's on our old tablets that we've had deployed for pretty much 5 years. Whereas what we're getting into is we're going to be auctioning them off every year. So they'll be a year to 2 years old at the time we auction them.
Gotcha.
So we should increase our recovery on those.
Okay. Well, then I make a motion to approve the purchase of 43 tablets at the cost of $19,906.71.
Have a motion by Commissioner McKeithen to purchase the 43 tablets at a cost of $19,906. I have a second. Second by Commissioner Wilson. Any other discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed, say nay. Motion carries. All right. 14.2, discuss, consider, and take necessary action on the budgeted purchase of a mobile radio out of GL code 54100 for a 800 mobile radio for Bullard's ATV at a cost of $3,298.56.
This one is a budgeted request. Bullard had put in this request last year, and it did make the budget. So we're just looking for approval to go ahead and purchase that radio.
Make motion, approve.
I have a motion by Commissioner Dominy to approve the purchase of a 800 megahertz mobile radio for Bullard's ATV at a cost of $3,298.56. Do I have a second?
Second.
I have a second by Commissioner Biggers. Any other discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed, say nay. Motion carries. Item 15. Discuss, consider, and take any necessary action on the delinquent tax properties in Smith County and authorization of the President of the Board of Commissioners to execute deeds for the sale of delinquent tax properties in Smith County. These are going to be struck off properties that are being sold at auction. I believe that's right. Just need authorization to sign the.
Johnny, they actually went up and didn't sell at auction,
Oh, they didn't?
and so the county took them back and they're being sold directly.
Oh, are they? Okay, thank you.
So they went up for auction prior to this?
Yes.
Okay.
This is just more of a,
Right, it's clean up, they didn't sell,
Clean.
didn't appear to be a market for them.
Yeah.
So some individual buyer has made a proposal that they think is fair, and so they're bringing that to you to approve your portion of it.
Okay. Yeah, all right.
I make a motion that we approve
Item 15.
the sale, item 15.
Yeah, okay. I have a motion by Commissioner McKeithen. We approve item 15 and, I guess authorize me to execute the deeds. And a
Yes.
second by Commissioner Biggers. Any other discussion? If not, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed, say nay. Motion carries. All right. 16, discuss, consider, and take any necessary action on fire chiefs discussing issues with the board for future action. Chief Arnold from ARP.
I did get a chance to look over my report this time before I got here, thank God. Everything looked pretty good. We did have a couple of problems, but everything as of tonight has been cleared up. Didn't have any one-person responses or no responses. Things that I need to bring to y'all's attention, and not trying to throw you under the bus, but that headlight that y'all fixed on the command vehicle is back out again. I think it's gonna be the wiring harness on it. So y'all might, I'm gonna have them send it in another ticket so you can look at it. And I'm not throwing rocks at anybody or saying anything, but perception is one thing, and hopefully next year, when we get through approving our budget and everything, and we actually get the money in, perception has been by several of us volunteer chiefs that we moved a little slow on some of our purchases, and it's cost us some money. Hopefully next year we can be a little more forward-thinking. And this year's been kind of a messed up year anyway, all the price increases and everything, but hopefully we can be a little bit more prepared at the first of the year, and let's get rolling on some of these purchases. That's just an observation.
Okay, thank you. Bullard?
Good afternoon. Thank you for your time. I was asked to step in last night, so I'm catching up a little bit here. I have the report for December for Bullard. We have nearly 500 man hours, lots of participation that we had in December. Lots of PR events around town, 16 events logged. We did have 2 one-person responses. Of those 2, one of them was during the day crew hours. I think that was at a time that we were having some difficulty having full staff at our station. But looking into it, it looked like the Flint crew assisted the Bullard one-person response, and that so it wasn't truly a one-person response. We did have one-person response on the volunteer side. It was a medic EMS call in the middle of the night. They were assisted by EMS but cleared upon arrival, so no other explanation on that. Part of my duties in Bullard is to audit reports and make sure they're completed timely and efficiently and accurately. So given that report last night, I was trying to catch up today a little bit on trying to do an audit on why we're getting so many one-person responses. Maybe I can take that as an opportunity for training with the folks on my roster to make sure that we have more participation, especially during the night hours when it's difficult for those middle of the night calls. And I've noticed a couple of them already that are going to come in the month of January that were potentially inaccurate, where we had one on standby at the station that didn't get logged on the report that's going to show as a one-person response. So my question was, how can we go back and modify or audit those reports so that they're more accurate when they're submitted? We used to have access in Response Master to go back and unlock reports and modify and edit those, and we don't any longer. And so I was curious. I did sort of a spot check to see who on our roster had access to that, or who currently has access to that, and none of our officers do. And so out of curiosity, I spot checked a little further, like Chief Stone, Chief Mager, Chief King. None of them have those accesses anymore either, but you see some of the counterparts on the ESD side that do have those accesses. The lieutenants and captains do still have that access. So I was curious if going forward we could modify that so that the permissions are the same on both sides. Thank you.
Thank you.
Chief Riley, I'll thank you a lot, but I will let you know that whoever set you up for this, you're supposed to be giving January's report. So we appreciate December's again.
Okay. Apologies.
No worries. I just
Yeah.
thank whoever it was set you up for that. But
Okay.
the report that we have in front of us does show that you got some 5 one-person responses, which is probably ones that you were talking about. But outside of that, all the rest of the information is standard. There's nothing that outstanding to me at all in any way. So, but I appreciate your time up here.
Thank you.
Chapel Hill?
I did not get my January report, so I didn't get to see it. Everything was sent was January of 2021 and December.
I resent it.
I looked through everything you sent and I didn't see it, so I didn't get it to look at it, see what I got. So I don't know how many 1-minute routes we got. Usually
It doesn't look bad. You have 4.
4. Okay, that's about average. That's usually probably medical calls. Most of the time, especially early morning, it's only going to be one guy probably going. And I look back, most of those we've been canceled before we get started on it a lot of times. So we're not even there. I guess I don't know what's on that report as well, but that's, I know.
Everything else is pretty
Yeah,
standard. 375 man hours, 124 incidents, 27 personnel, 11 events. Y'all been busy like everybody?
Yeah, quite busy, yes. We've been running a lot lately here. My guys are doing real good at doing the reports and trying to get them done, so that I stay pretty well up. I harp on them pretty heavy, so they know that the reports need to be done. Also, I did go to that safety conference, and I say it was a good conference. Other chief, if you get a chance, is a good conference to go to. Try to go there, you can learn pretty good stuff, some of the way other ESD is run as well. And then also we had our chili supper this last Saturday, and we had a good turnout. We had a good amount of money come in, so it helped us on that as well. So I appreciate everybody that came out to our chili supper this Saturday.
Good chili.
Yep. I got some extra too if you want more.
Okay.
Also, I do have one person is in the online academy. He's going through that in my department. As well, I've got 2 more that's going to be signing up for a officer class as well. So my guys are pretty good in training, so they are doing the training pretty well and stuff. And I got one more interested in trying to do the online through, I think it's through SFMA. They're going to do his fire certs that way as well. So that's it.
Thank you. Dixie, Chief York.
Good evening.
How you doing?
Yeah, we had 79 incidences, 0 events, 12 personnel, 0 one-person responses, 1 incomplete report, 1 missing report. The reports, I had like 5 of them the other day, but I got a hold of my battalion chief. We got that worked out. They solved a lot of those problems. Mentioning getting on the brush truck, we're still got the grant and everything, trying to get everything nailed down there. I went and talked to Chief Smith last week. Got a 3rd bid in from Chris Mahler with Skeeter and Pierce. So we're looking at that. I'm going to sit down tonight and try to schedule a time to meet with Chief Peterson and Eric Lowry and get their input and set up a time for me to meet with those guys as far as the apparatus committee goes. And follow up with that. Any questions?
No? No, sir.
Everything else is going good.
Okay. Thank
Running
you.
lots of calls.
Yeah. Thank you, Matt.
Thank y'all.
Flint Gresham, Captain Rath, or Lieutenant.
Good evening. Don't really have a whole lot to talk about tonight. The 2 single-person responses that are in there are report errors, kind of like what Bullard was talking about. An apparatus, the paid crew apparatus was left off the reports. They responded. I was the one that was on the single-person response. I got added to the report, but they left their apparatus off, so none of them got counted. But they responded, and I know that because I was there. But it was just a report error. Otherwise, I don't really have anything to report from Flint Gresham unless you have any questions. Okay.
Did Tim and Tate just quit us, or?
I'm sorry?
Did Tim and Tate just quit us, or?
No, it's just,
They just.
I think they just like me coming up here and doing this for them,
They're gonna
so.
start paying you. But
Jackson Heights.
Good evening. I'm just like Flint Gresham, really don't have anything to report. We had 51 incidents for the month of January, 0 events, 0 one-person responses, and 0 no responses. I do have 1 person that signed up for the CPAR class in noonday. We do have 1 apparatus that's out on a TIFMAS deployment. We had some technical difficulties after Snowmageddon. Trash pickup, finally got that resolved, and now we're having technical difficulties with pagers going off inside the building. I was available all weekend long, and my pager never did go off this weekend.
And that's just inside the building?
Inside the building, the pager's not going off, but I'm at home, which is 3 to 4 miles away, but my pager never went off this weekend.
Is that something we knew about? No?
Well, we knew about them not long.
Gotcha.
Check with, what's his name, see if they got a tower that's messed up.
Yeah.
Unless y'all have any questions,
No, sir. Thank you.
thank you.
Thank you. Noonday, Chief Harper.
All right, on our report, we had 73 incidents. We had 3 one-person response. 2 of the one-person response, I looked earlier today before the meeting. We actually had a engine and a brush truck both respond, so I don't know why we're showing 1 person when we actually had 3. The other alarm that we had was a one-person response. That was myself. Our engine crew was out on another call, and I took that call with Flint. Everything's going good in Noonday. I attended the safety conference with our Noonday board president, Mark Bartlett. This past week, we signed all of our volunteers up for accidental life insurance, MD Live, which is also a teledoc, basically where they can call online. I think everybody knows what that is. And also a cancer policy and an additional life insurance policy that we're supplying or doing for our volunteers. We had a Noonday business owner paid to have our boat motor repaired and have the annual maintenance done. Our board president, Mark Bartlett, is in the process of going through the electrical system to see what needs to be fixed or replaced. We're hoping to get possibly 2 years more out of this boat, but we're actually looking at, we're still looking at grants and other possibilities for a better equipped rescue boat for the lake. That's all I have, unless you have any questions.
Thanks, sir.
Thank you. Ridge Springs.
When I spoke to him last week, I think he has classes on Monday nights, so he's not available.
Okay.
He also had a late evening funeral at Paul Bear too.
Okay. All right. Troop.
Our one worst person responses are, we swap out nights so that nobody has to get up every time the pager goes off, mostly for medical calls. There's one MVA that we got canceled on, and I was en route to that, but it was canceled on us before I got there, so I just turned around and went back to the house. We're about 34 calls a month, average, and that's about the extent of that. I would like for the board to take into consideration, possibly in our next budget year, putting some side-by-sides with these dozers. I think it'd be an asset to them, rigged out with a little pump on them and everything, so that we can get back in there and the dozer catches on fire, which we've had happen in the past. We've been doing this a long time, and I think it'd be an ideal situation to have these side-by-sides with a little portable tank on them. Also, we've got this GSAR unit that we're setting up, which is ground search and rescue, for anybody that wants to know. We're trying to get a team. We're in the process of putting a team together, and these side-by-sides would be an asset to us on those too. I've been using my personal one on the ones that we've run on here lately, and I think it'd be a general asset all the way around for the ones that have dozers to have a side-by-side to move along with it. You have an operator, and then your second man can ride that side-by-side, and if he gets in a bind or whatever, you've got a way out.
I don't disagree.
Okay.
And that is a safety factor too.
Thank you.
Do you have any questions for me?
No? No, sir. Thank you. White House?
Report I have for White House Law looked pretty good. We hadn't, let me get it back up on my phone. Had 42 incidents, 2 one-person, no incomplete reports, no, 0 responses, 0 missing reports. So all of it looked good according to what I'd seen on it. I do want to bring up, and we need to look at, on both ends, and I'm not, don't get me wrong, I'm not griping or complaining about it, but we do. We have recently in White House, we are fortunate enough, we have got 5 new members that have come into our department. For instance, and where I'm getting at, we had an incident the other day where we had a car fire at Loop 49 and 110. Flint come over to help us. In our route of going up there, we were canceled. En route to that, the captain got on the scene. The car was put out before he got on the scene. We were canceled. Flint got on the scene. We returned the corners, but Flint still stayed on the scene for 21 minutes. Where I'm getting at, where I'm coming to with new people coming on, there's nothing better, and Chief Clinton will vouch for this. There's no better training for new people than live action. Right, Chief? No better way. Since this incident happened with us the other day, I've been listening to the radio, and it hadn't been only with us. I've heard a couple of calls with the volunteer departments on a grass fire or something. Neighboring department jumped in there and went in there to help them. The neighboring department got there because they were closer, and that's the reason why they got in on it. They got on the scene. They said, hey, we can handle this with 1 truck. The primary department that was called for the call, you can cancel, we'll get it for you. Why? If it's in that, you know, I know we're all one group, we're all one big group, but if it's that primary department, that primary department needs to downgrade and go on to the scene. Is where I'm getting at with the whole deal. They need, you know, it's in their district, in their area, they need to go on and go to the scene. You know, my instance in our deal, if we had Flint stay on there for 21 minutes, why? If they needed to be steering for that long, we needed to come on the scene. Flint needed to get back to their district. And I just wanted to pass that along.
I don't disagree with you about maybe the Flint being on scene too long, but the other one, I will make an argument that if they're closer and run your call, it puts you back available quicker for the next one coming in. I don't disagree with the fact that they probably canceled you on that one. That one makes sense to me.
I totally agree with what you're coming from, where you're coming, McKeithen. But there was one instance in the past, if you remember, that it was an instance where White House went over to help Flint on a car wreck.
Yeah.
While they were gone, and it was when we were in with the city of White House when they first started up in the volunteers.
Right.
While they were gone, they got paged out for electrical box sparking. Volunteers thought, okay, day crews got that, they're there.
Yeah.
No, they were over helping Flint, didn't nobody on the day crew know it.
I see what
Well,
you're saying. I don't know that there's a perfect answer to that, but we'll see what we can.
You know, there's not a perfect answer to it, don't get me wrong, by no means. And I totally agree with what you're talking about, where you're coming from. But my biggest thing is our new guys, we have a hard time getting people to respond to stuff. Your new guys,
Yeah.
how many of them's going to sit there and say, hey, I get on the apartment just to go ride in a fire truck?
Oh, no, I get what you're saying. I will also say that I think you were looking at an older report. You have 18 one-man responses on
Okay,
this report.
I've got 2 reports on my phone that JD sent to me. One of them's for December, and
Gotcha.
the other one's for January.
Okay.
So
I just checking. Thank you.
I don't know which.
That'll work.
You know, and I don't think neither one of them's got 18 one-man responses on it that I've got.
Gotcha.
Why not?
Hello. I don't have papers yet tonight. Chief couldn't make it. He was busy when he got off work. Working on December report, right? No, that's all I got is December
Here,
report.
I got you. You have 118
Okay.
incidents, 11 events, 24 personnel. You have 5 one-man responses, 2 incomplete reports, 3 missing reports, and 444 man-hours.
All right, thank you.
Got lots of man-hours.
We have just added 3 more personnel for 1 junior and 2 other firefighters that starting the training.
Wonderful.
Now I looked into some of the one-man responses. Most of those are medical, and then there's one like it's on day crew hours. I'm not sure if they put their second person on their truck. Any questions?
No, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
Training Division report, Chief Clanton.
All right. So, month of February has been pretty busy. We've got a lot going on. I guess I need to be talking about January. Let me clarify that. We did ropes and knots, utility purposes for everybody during the month of January. That's both career and volunteer. We had 22 different offerings on the calendar that we taught that class and did various drills with that. We're continuing to do the onboarding and mentoring program. At the company level, the officers are using the task book that those guys helped to form. And so they're covering various skills every single shift with our newer folks that we've just put on. We continue to do COVID testing and follow-ups. The trend is beginning to go downward, so that's a great thing. We have had numerous members attend online and in-person TCFP courses. We've also been, the training division is engaged in the building committee. So we've been out doing station assessments and the development of a program for presentation to show priorities and issues related to the buildings. We've been doing smoke drills at our duty stations, and a smoke drill basically consists of we show up unannounced and give them we place a cone somewhere in pretty close proximity to their station, and they pull out, and then we measure everything from how long it takes them to get their gear on and be out the door from the time the alarm is given to how quickly they have a line stretched, water flowing, and are fighting fire on air. And we do that consistently throughout the district. And our numbers are in the 2-minute range on some of these guys. They are fast, and they're very effective, and it's very impressive to see that repetitive training really starting to hone them. And they are perfecting their craft, I'll say that for sure. We have also been doing preparations for the driver and lieutenant examinations, working with Sherry on that today. In fact, Friday the 4th, we'll be administering a lieutenant's examination, and then in early April, we'll have another driver's examination to fill those spots. We had, like I say, 22 events on the calendar, 72 hours of direct delivery, 16 hours of program development. We have a lot of online stuff that has been completed. I wasn't able to fully track that down. There's so many hours being completed on Target Solutions. We had 86 career interactions, 48 volunteer, a total of 144. Any questions?
Thank you. Chief of Human Resources report, Ms. Sherry.
Right, the 1094Cs were filed along with the 1095Cs on February 15th. They were accepted by the IRS, no issues there. And then the 1095Cs were actually mailed out today to the employees. Are you all familiar with those are? Okay. It has to do with medical insurance. When a company has more than 50 employees, it's a requirement. So those were met and sent out. I do have resumes that we've been collecting for the finance administrator as well as the executive administrator. I brought them with me. I didn't know if any of you wanted to review any of them. I know that Commissioner Domney and Commissioner Brown has seen all of them at this point, but I didn't know if any of the other commissioners wish to review those at some point this evening. And that's all I've got at the moment.
Okay. Anybody have any questions for Sherry? Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Fleet maintenance.
Evening, gentlemen. We've completed and resolved about 53 work orders in the month of January, and we also resolved a number of issues that weren't recorded. We are currently working on performing our scheduled PMs that are generated through Response Master with the guys doing their truck checkoffs online. As long as they're putting in the current hours and miles, that helps us keep track of when our PMs are due. And we've been doing fairly good. There's still some hiccups here and there. People get some fat fingers and mistype some stuff, but all in all, it's working out really good. Here in the next couple months, we'll probably be gearing up to get ready to start doing a big round of pump testing on all the apparatus that need it. And so next month there's some accessories and some equipment that I'm needing for our draft commander to make that more useful this next round. So I didn't get the quote in time for this one, but it'll be on next month's agenda to get that purchased. Other than that, we've been just humming right along.
Not to keep beating the dead horse, and this very well may have been answered previously, but have we got everything registered and inspected and all that good jazz?
That process has been handed over to the people that usually bring our vehicles to us. In between bringing us apparatus, they go out and check all the insurance and registrations and all that stuff, and they have gotten a really good handle on it. I think we are, I would probably say 90 to 95% up to date on everything.
Great, thank you.
Mike, the information that you're starting to gather is you're looking at 2 months, 3 months out. You can start running some trend information on the type of maintenance that we're having to do, number of hours we got on equipment, try to start doing some projecting maintenance requirements. Is that something we're working towards?
I can, not really. It's kind of just up to date. We've got a set of parameters that's in the system that lets us know when, as long as the hours and miles are put in, as soon as it hits from the previous one that was done, as soon as it hits that next due one, then it just generates us a work order saying that apparatus is due.
Yeah, but I guess what I'm talking about is some of the unexpected failures that we have, and just trying to keep a log of the health of the apparatus as a whole. You know, not just when the next maintenance due, but what type of maintenance is being performed on them.
Oh, yeah.
So when we go back and start looking at apparatus again, that we can.
All the major stuff we try to make sure gets put into that work order system.
Okay.
Some headlights and some minor little stuff that don't get put in a lot of
Right.
times. But as far as the major repairs, the minor to major repairs, yes, those get logged in, so we can pull up an apparatus and know what kind of work has been done on that.
Okay. Thank you.
Any other questions, Mike? Okay. Chief, Information Officer report, Larry.
Just a couple of things. I'm going to remind everybody again, if you need to come to IT, please try to schedule an appointment. Make sure one of us are there. We're still shorthanded and understaffed. We have completed the Chapel Hill Tower project. We completed it this week. Actually, I'm sorry, last week. Dale, if you'll look at the light, make sure it's running when y'all get back, and just let me know. The photo cell should be attached. So everything's up and running on that tower site. So that project is complete. And y'all have the reports in front of you. I'm not going to sit here and go through them. I will point out we're still missing information from districts on the website. Next month will be a year. So we need to get that done too.
Can we challenge you to make it up? And I know that sounds bad, but you know a lot about all the other departments. Can we?
So one of the things that's on there is bio about the department, bio about the chief. So that's going to be hard for me to come up with because I don't know what they're going to want to say. I can put
Mac Arnold lived in ARP since they drove wagons. We can make it up.
We can put something in there. We can put something in there.
If not, you're going to have driven a team of oxen through ARP.
Let's just put it this way. Here's the departments that needs to get Larry something so he can put it on there. ARP, Dixie only needs pictures. Flint Gresham, Jackson Heights, Noonday, Red Springs, Troop, and Winona. So if y'all guys could just please get what he asked so he can get that website redesigned, done, and updated, we would appreciate it.
Chief Mauger was in the wagon with him.
Uh-huh. Yep. Yep. All right. All right. Anything else, Larry?
I don't have anything. It should all be in the report.
Thank you, Larry.
All right, thank you. All right, so what does that bring us to? That brings us to closed session, or JD, Chief of Operations. Chief Smith, I'm sorry. I like to cut you out, didn't I?
Okay, so in your board packet is the normal breakdowns that I give you about participation and the call incidents, but I also added this last page. It talks about some of the things that have been approved, some of the things we've been doing, and some of the things that the administration has been doing, as well as the committee activity from some of the committees we may have not have spoken to in a while. So as far as our projects, our gear dryer project, one dryer is completed, a second dryer is being built. We budgeted for 4, but with the way the cost of PVC and all that thing was just fluctuating back and forth, we were only able to get the 2, or the materials for the 2. And we discussed this during the budget process that might be, a problem. The SCBA masks, they are ordered. They are on back order. We should get those sometime in April. Flow testing's been completed. It was on target for the budget. Bullards compressors have been completed. It was on target. The pumpers have been ordered, potentially up to 20 months. The hose and nozzle project is on schedule. We've started receiving some of those items. We're doing an inventory. Once we get everything in, we'll start dispersing them out. They did deploy to TIFMAS. Chief Thompson, your truck should be back. As far as my administrative highlights there, that's some of the things we've been doing in admin and then the committee reports. And then I have an announcement that once the ladder testing is approved, which it was tonight, we will conduct that in May. So, that's when that'll be on the schedule. Do you guys have any questions for me?
Do I not remember a shorter than 20-month target for those trucks? I thought it was like 12 months.
No, it was not 12 months.
12 to 14? When was the?
Yeah, that was before the new year. So, 20 months.
We could do without the last part there, David. Gerald, thank you.
I spoke to Mahler. He said potentially up to 20 months. That doesn't necessarily mean 20 months, but that was the time frame he gave me. They had over 700 orders in the month of January. And so we were at the tail end of those. So I think we just kind of fell in line.
Thank you.
We'll probably have some more ordered before those ever get here, won't we?
Should, anyway.
Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. So, we covered all that. All right, item 22 will be a closed session. The board will convene in closed session in accordance with the Texas Open Meetings Act, Texas Government Code 551071, 551.072, and 551.074. No action shall be taken while the board is in closed session. Any final action, final decision, or final vote shall be taken after the board reconvenes in open session. Deliberation concerning appointment, employment, evaluation, reassignment of duties, responsibilities, individual ESD officers, commissioners, employees. Deliberation concerning real property and consult with attorney and receive legal advice concerning a contemplated legal matter or settlement offer. And the meeting is adjourned at 8:09. through laughing.
Keep going.
I just keep mine to you.
I can get rid of it, yeah. All right, I call the open session back to order at 9:01 p.m. There was no action taken in closed session. Next item on the agenda is 24. To discuss, consider, and take any necessary action on personnel and employment for ESD2. There's no action to be taken on that item. And item 25 is to discuss, consider, and take any necessary action on the FLSA investigation. And so I'll entertain
If you will state our motion.
Sure, the motion would be to approve the execution of the Department of Labor Form WH-56 and the accompanying instructions included.
So made.
Second.
Okay, have a motion and a second. Any other discussion? If not, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. All those opposed say nay, and the motion carries. All right. If I can get this thing to work, Larry. 26. Remarks by the presiding officer and/or board members, information updates, items to be placed on future agendas and future meeting dates, times, and/or locations. Brent, you have anything? No, sir. Matt?
No, sir. No, sir.
Mr. Beard? Charles? Nope. Okay. I don't have anything either, so we are adjourned at 9:03 p.m.